Secretary of State Maggie Toulouse Oliver, we want to thank you for taking some time with us. A very busy afternoon. One of the first things we want to get to is absentee ballots. It is too late now to request an absentee ballot. Is that right?
That is right. The deadline was Tuesday, the 20th.
Okay. So what are the options for people who have absentee ballots either on the way or in their hands?
Sure. Well, obviously, the first way is to mail it back. We do recommend that folks please do not put that ballot in the mail after next Tuesday, October 27th. We want to give the Postal Service a full week to make sure that your ballot gets back to your county clerk's office. So if you wait until after that date, or if you just feel more comfortable dropping your ballot off, you can do so at any polling location throughout the state, all the way through the early voting period and on election day. Just make sure it's a polling place in your county.
And do you have to let them know that this is an absentee ballot that you're dropping off? And is there a separate line for that, or is it everybody in one line?
Well, all the county clerks know that you can drop an absentee ballot. When you do get there, if there is just a single line, see if you can flag a poll worker for their attention to assist you in dropping off the absentee ballot. But most polling places across the state are going to have a separate line or even a drop box stationed right outside your polling place that you can simply walk it up and drop it off with a couple of poll officials right there to help you.
There are other options, it sounds like, as well. First, I want to ask, do we have any sort of any other drop boxes in areas around the county, places outside of restaurants, community centers, any of that going on?
Not for this election, Matt. That is something that we are building the infrastructure for going into elections starting next year. So for this year's general election, the only drop boxes you are going to see are going to be directly correlated with a polling place.
Okay, that's a great rule of thumb. So people, I know we've seen in California, for example, some unofficial drop boxes that cause problems. If I have my absentee ballot and I just am a little bit nervous about the timing, I'm unsure about how to fill it out. I know you've produced a video that people can watch, and I've seen that. It's really helpful. You can also just go to a polling place and vote. Is that correct?
Yeah, of course, we want to encourage folks, if you've applied for and received an absentee ballot, to just go ahead and vote that ballot. If you have questions as you're going through the process, just pick up the phone and call your county clerk or call our office at 505-827-3600. But if at the end of the day, you have to go and vote in person for whatever reason. I mean, let's say, for example, you spill coffee all over your ballot, or you never get that ballot in the mail. You can absolutely go to any early voting location all the way up through the end of the early voting period, ask for a replacement absentee ballot. They will give you one that you can vote right there on the spot.
Okay, so there are some backups. It sounds like the simplest solution is usually the best. If you've got this ballot, you should try to use it if you can.
Yeah. It'll just, keep the administrative challenges to a minimum, keep the lines a little bit shorter, keep a few more people out of the polling place as we're trying to maintain COVID safe practices for you to just, vote and drop that ballot off or put it back in the mail. But again, you do have that option to go in person and get a replacement if that's something you need to do.
As we've seen some of the national conversation happen around security of elections, a lot of it is not based in fact, but people are getting worried. Are the numbers that you're seeing in terms of returned ballots versus requested ballots, do you think that those reflect people who have chosen to just go vote in person?
We certainly do have a number of people who have chosen to just go vote in person for a variety of reasons. We were chatting a little bit before the show, and I mentioned that I've noticed people around the state and around the country really thinking strategically about how to vote. We're hearing concerns, particularly from states like Michigan and Pennsylvania, that have to wait until late in the game to start counting those ballots. They're worried the same thing might happen here. It might take a really long time to count those absentee ballots and to get results on election night. So they're thinking, well, maybe it's better if I, go ahead and go vote early in person, or maybe I'm worried about the post office. But generally speaking, I think it's really important for New Mexicans to know that no matter how you choose to cast your ballot, you're going to be able to do it in a safe and secure way. We're working closely with the Postal Service. We are tracking every ballot so we know where they are at any given time. We are working, of course, diligently, and the county clerks are working so hard, and poll officials, to keep those polling places, clean and well maintained, and practicing social distancing, following all those COVID safe practices. So really, it's up to you as the voter. What do you feel more comfortable doing? Do you feel comfortable getting out of your house, going to cast a ballot, or would you rather just, put it back in the mail?
When county clerks start to get absentee ballots back, what is the process for counting them? When can they begin? And what does that look like in terms of just registering that they've received them versus actually counting them?
Sure. Well, as you know, Matt, ballots are already coming back to our clerks' offices, and the county clerks and their staff are already going through the very first step of the process, which is to receive them back and check to make sure there is a signature and the correct last 4 digits of the Social Security number. If they are finding any of that information missing or incorrect, they are notifying the voter within 24 hours that there's an issue that needs to be resolved, providing them with an affidavit and a way to provide that information back to the clerk so the ballot can be counted. The next step of the process is convening the absentee precinct board in every county. That will start as early as this coming Saturday, the 24th, as late as Thursday, the 29th. Depending on the size of the county and how many ballots they've mailed out. Those boards can begin that multi-step process then at that point of, first of all, double checking that there's a signature and a last 4 of a social, opening the outer envelope, removing the outer from the inner envelope, and then et cetera, up to and including beginning to feed those ballots through the tabulator. So here in New Mexico, our big counties are going to have a 10-day head start on the counting process, and our smaller ones have a 5-day head start. So we feel good that the clerks around the state are planning to take advantage of that and really get going on this process as soon as possible.
I want to key in on the tabulating part. So they're actually feeding these into the machines that are like the ones you and I would do if we voted in person?
They're a little bit different. They basically look like a computer and a scanner, and we have these high-speed scanners available to the bigger counties that they can utilize to process more ballots more quickly. Some of the smaller counties will use the same exact type of tabulating machine that you would see in a polling place. And again, it just depends on how big you are and how many ballots you have. But yes, they can begin feeding those ballots through those counting machines. And it's just like if you're voting in early voting or on election day, as the ballots go in, the machine is tallying results, but those results won't be made available until the process is completed. And so, just like when you close the polls on election night, then you produce results. Same thing with our absentee process.
Secretary of State Maggie Toulouse Oliver, I'm sure we'll check in with you either shortly before or shortly after the vote. Thanks so much.
Thank you.